Hi friends, welcome to Aishudiy. Today we will make a bracelet out of this bead box bargain beads. Um, so I have this strand. I don't want to take off the strand. I just want to keep the colors as it is because I really like it. These are the findings that I have here for this bracelet. And I have a lobster claw clasp and some decorated jump rings, and I'll probably make a earrings too. So I have this two-tone French ear wires. It has a silver and a gold wrap on it and some chain in gold. So these are the things that I have right here. Apart from this, we need 22 gauge wire. I'm using beadsmith 22 gauge wire. That's what I'm using here. And one more thing that you can use is some spacers or some kind of um, bead spacers or bead caps, anything like that that you have in hand that you can use. I'm thinking of using this. Or I'm thinking I can even use a bead spacer, like, but then that will be a little bit too bright in my opinion. This bead spacer will be a little bit too bright, so I'm just still thinking, contemplating as to use it or not. So let's see where half the design goes. And I am not in my best of my health. I have some issue with my left eye. It's an autoimmune thing called iritis. So maybe my um, my accuracy is a little bit here and there. I apologize for that. So I'll take one of this bead and then I'm gonna see if I can wire wrap it. Okay. Then I'm just going to add these links. Hold on to that and do a couple of wraps. This 22 gauge wire is from Beadsmith, and I don't know, it's not like artistic wire nor like para wire. It's somewhere in between, and it really makes it very difficult to wire wrap as such. It's springy at the same time. It can be either a hard wire or a soft wire, but it is neither of that. So it's kind of very different. And as you can see, my wraps are not coming consistently, but that's okay. I am not going to strain much because I know for sure this wire is difficult to work with, but I do want to use 22 gauge wire. I feel without the spacer itself it looks good because it has some space. um, so I'm going to go ahead and do a wrap loop here too. You can measure this. If you want to cut it beforehand and do it, you can do it. I like to work with a spool. I'm fine with it, but if you don't want to, you can cut yourself. About 4 centimeter of wire. I think that should be good enough for the wrap loop on both sides. And this one is 6 millimeter bead. So, or in inches wise, you can take 3 inches or so of wire and then do a wrap loop if you want a lot of wire to wrap it. And if you're not comfortable with short wire, then just go ahead and take 4 inches. So there we go. I wrapped it and then snip off the excess wire. So and tuck in the tail. There we go. We have one link created. I'm gonna create more links, and I'm gonna use this color beads as well. So I want to use all of these colors because they are very pretty in their own way. The color combination, the striations of the gemstone makes it very pretty. There I am making a wrap loop, but before closing the wrap loop, you should make sure that you add the link and then close the loop. You can hold the loop like that and then wrap it a couple of times and snip off the excess wire. So there we go. Take the bead down all the way, squish your wrap a bit, then keep your round nose pliers on top and then bend it to 90 degrees and go over. And then now you can snip off some wire so that you know how much you need for the wrap. Then hold your round nose pliers, make the loop. Before closing the loop, I'm adding the next link. And then I'm gonna wrap it. Snip off the excess wire. So I need about 7.5 inches. That is the standard bracelet length. So you can adjust the length of the bracelet according to your wrist size. I'm not very much worried about straightening the loop because this itself is like a zigzag manner, so it goes perfectly well. So the next one, let me cut some wire just so that I can let you guys know. 4 centimeter is way too short for 2 wraps. So in inches wise, I think 3 inches is perfectly fine, guys. So 3 inches of wire I'm cutting myself, and then I'm doing this blue color. First let me do a wrap loop. Before closing the loop, I'll add this winding inside that and continue my wrap. Once I'm happy with it, I'm gonna snip off the excess wire. Just make sure the wire doesn't fly away. It does fly away everywhere, so, and then it might poke you guys, so just be careful on that. And then so 3 inches is also big, looks like. So 2 inches should be good enough, I guess. Let's figure out in the next wrap. There's a small tail I can see. Tucking in the tail. And then measuring this bracelet, it's 5 inches, and we leave about 1 inch for the um, closure. And then I will add one more link and see if I... So I measured, and I just wanted to change the clasp to a lobster claw clasp, because that I mean to a toggle clasp, because the lobster claw clasp was a little bit bright for the bracelet. So I changed that, and I measured this is about 6.5 inches or so. So if I add one bead, it's adding half an inch. So I don't want to go over than 7.5 inches. So I'm going to add one link here, and then I'm going to add the jump ring with the lobster claw clasp so that it can easily go inside the bead. So they are about to finish the bracelet. The final link will be with this bead or this bead, I guess. Yes, this bead. Before closing it, I'm adding this link. Approximately you need 2.5 inches of wire for to do 2 wraps and the 6 millimeter bead. So you can use a bigger bead you want, you can use a smaller bead, and you can substitute the links with something that you have. Making my 90-degree bend, bringing it across like that. Now I'm going to cut myself about half an inch. Add my lobster claw clasp. I'm adding this part of the clasp which is round, because when this comes here it needs to go inside this loop without any problems, and the 6 millimeter bead would still be a little bit more to go into this loop. So you have to keep that in mind all the time if you are using a lobster claw clasp. So that end of the clasp which goes inside should have a smaller bead right next to it, so that it's easy to put it inside. If there's a short tail, go ahead and tuck the tail in. And then now we have about 7.5 inches. So I'm just going to open this jump ring. It's already open for me. And then go ahead and add this. Take another plier, a bend nose plier or chain nose plier or flat nose pliers, anything will work. Needle nose pliers. If we have 2 pliers, then it works fine. That's about it. So our bracelet is now exactly 7.5 inches long. So there we go. And then all you need to do is see, when you do this, it has to go like this and go inside. So, and if you can see the bracelet, it looks symmetrical. So that's a good thing. And even with the 6 millimeter bead, it's going on fine. I love toggle clasp because it's easy to put it on. This is how it looks. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon for notification. I'll see you guys in the next video for the earrings matching to this bracelet.